Before Columbus, before the Pilgrims, the Founding Fathers, and even the Vikings, there were civilizations here, entire worlds, kingdoms without castles, cities without stone, stories without scrolls, passed from voice to voice, fire to fire. This is the story of North America before it was renamed, before it was rewritten, a land alive with ancient knowledge, sacred rhythms, and people who walked it for thousands of years. When we think of history, we often think of Europe, Asia, or Africa. But this land, now called North America, was home to rich civilizations long before Columbus. This is not an empty wilderness waiting to be discovered. This is a world of cities, legends, trade, diplomacy, and dreams. So what were they doing before Columbus? Let's go back, way back, to meet the people who were already here. Over 1,000 years ago, near present-day St. Louis, rose a city that rivaled London in size, Cahokia. Built by the Mississippian culture, Cahokia had a population of over 20,000. Its people built massive earthen pyramids. The largest, Monk's Mound, is still taller than the Statue of Liberty's base. Imagine this: rows of wooden homes, plazas filled with dancers during solar festivals, traders from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast exchanging obsidian, seashells, and copper. But then, silence. Around 1350, the city emptied. Why? Climate change, resource strain, conflict. We're still piecing together the mystery. In the woodlands of the Northeast, an extraordinary political idea was born: the Great Law of Peace. According to oral tradition, a man named the Peacemaker traveled in a stone canoe to bring peace to warring tribes. He united the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca into the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, known to Europeans as the Iroquois. This wasn't just a myth. Their council system, clan structure, and checks on power would later inspire aspects of the U.S. Constitution. They called themselves People of the Longhouse, each nation a family under one roof, and their influence stretched from diplomacy to farming innovations. High in the canyons of the Southwest, a different story unfolded: the story of the ancestral Puebloans. At Chaco Canyon, in what is now New Mexico, they built massive stone great houses aligned with lunar cycles. Their roads stretched for miles, straight through deserts and cliffs. Trade brought turquoise, cacao, and macaw feathers from Central America. They watched the stars. They painted stories in rock, spirals, antelope, human spirits. Their descendants, the Hopi and Zuni, still carry their traditions. One elder once said, "Our homes are built of earth because we are made of earth." Where forests meet the sea, the Tlingit, Haida, and Coast Salish created a world shaped by water and wood. They carved towering totems, stories told in symbols. They held potlatches, massive feasts, where a chief gave away his wealth to gain honor. Their wealth came from the sea, salmon, whales, and trade routes connecting hundreds of coastal villages. Here's a story. One winter, a Haida chief gave away 300 blankets, copper shields, and even his longhouse. When asked why, he said, "What I give, I become." This wasn't a place of scarcity. It was a civilization of deep abundance and deeper respect. Above the tree line, the Inuit and their ancestors mastered a land of ice. They crafted tools from bone and stone, built kayaks, and followed the migration of seals and whales. Their myths told of sea goddesses and sky spirits. In the long darkness of Arctic winters, they lit lamps with seal oil and told stories that warmed the soul. This was not just survival. This adaptation was perfected over millennia. Imagine generations who knew every crack in the ice, every change in the wind, because life depended on it. The people of ancient North America weren't isolated. They were connected. Obsidian from Yellowstone, shells from Florida, copper from the Great Lakes, all moving along trade routes that spanned thousands of miles. Ideas traveled too. Farming techniques, rituals, songs. A pipe carved in the shape of a panther might show up hundreds of miles from where it was made. In a way, these were North America's ancient highways, invisible but vital. Every nation had its legends. The Lakota spoke of White Buffalo Woman, who brought sacred rituals. The Dean told of the Raven, who shaped the world from chaos. The Cherokee believed in the thunder beings that lived atop mountains. These were not myths in the way we think of fiction. They were truths passed down for generations. They explained the spirit behind the stone, the fire behind the sun. And when the British arrived, they did not discover a new world. They encountered one already old, wise, and deeply alive. This was North America before Columbus, a continent of cities and sages, of astronomers and warriors, of traders and philosophers. Their stories are not gone. They are waiting to be remembered. As the northern half of this vast continent flourished, so too did the civilizations to the south. The people of South America carved their lives into the rugged Andes, the dense Amazon rainforest, and the plains of the Pampas. Long before the arrival of Europeans, they built empires, crafted wonders, and wrote their own legends into the very earth they walked. This is the story of South America before Columbus. The Inca Empire, the largest in pre-Columbian America, spanned a vast stretch of the Andes, from modern-day Colombia to Chile. At its heart, Cusco was both the political and spiritual capital. The Incas were master engineers, building cities in the sky, with terraced fields clinging to the sides of mountains and temples that captured the light of the sun in perfect harmony. Agriculture and innovation. The Inca were expert farmers, developing advanced systems for growing crops at high altitudes. The potato, quinoa, and maize were staples, cultivated in terraced fields and supported by a network of irrigation channels that allowed them to thrive in the mountains. Religion and astronomy. The Inca were also astronomers. Their religious practices intertwined with the stars and the sun. They believed the sun god, Inti, was their direct ancestor, and their elaborate temples were designed to capture the first light of the solstices. In the arid coastal deserts of Peru, an even greater mystery lay etched in the earth. The Nazca people, known for their exceptional pottery and textiles, left behind a grand puzzle, the Nazca lines. These enormous geometric designs and animal shapes can only be fully appreciated from the sky. But why were they created? Were they messages to the gods, or astronomical markers to track the stars? Each line, each figure, tells the story of a civilization whose knowledge of the land and sky was far beyond what we can fully comprehend today. While the mountains and deserts were home to mighty empires, the vast expanse of the Amazon was the cradle for other, often overlooked civilizations. Archaeological discoveries have shown that long before Europeans arrived, the Amazon was home to thriving societies. These were the guardians of the forest, the people who lived in harmony with one of the world's most biodiverse environments. Geoglyphs and agriculture. Recent discoveries have revealed that the ancient civilizations of the Amazon created large, geometric earthworks, geoglyphs, which still mystify researchers today. These early people also practiced sophisticated agriculture, growing crops like manioc, maize, and beans in sustainable ways. Spirituality and culture. For the peoples of the Amazon, the forest was more than a home. It was a sacred space, woven with stories, spirits, and rituals passed down through generations. Far to the southeast, in the fertile plains of the Pampas, lived the Guaraní people. Known for their intricate weaving and spiritual traditions, the Guaraní were among the most powerful tribes of South America. They cultivated the land, raised animals, and were skilled traders and warriors. Daily life and trade. The Guaraní were not just farmers, but also skilled traders, interacting with neighboring peoples across vast territories. Their rich culture and art, seen in their textiles and pottery, have left lasting marks on the region. Spirituality and ceremonies. The Guaraní held the spirits of nature and ancestors in high regard. Their ceremonies were deeply connected to the cosmos, and they believed that the earth itself was a living being, deeply interconnected with the spiritual world. From the high-altitude cities of the Inca to the mysterious figures etched in the desert and the unseen civilizations of the Amazon, South America was a land teeming with life, knowledge, and vibrant cultures. These civilizations, long before Columbus, shaped the world with their innovations, philosophies, and spiritual beliefs. Their stories are not lost. They are waiting to be told again. Thank you for watching this journey through the untold legends of North and South America. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient civilizations, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories from history's hidden corners. Join us as we uncover the rich tapestry of cultures, ideas, and legacies that shaped our world.